not recording what I just did, but right here, this is the tie belt. And what I did was I folded the tie belt in half, and I folded it in half, and I made sure that it was right side facing in. So this right here will be the inside of the fabric facing out. So I folded it in half, hot dog style. And what I did was I just found I kind of wanted to get like in the center. So once you fold it in half, hot dog style, fold it again, fold it in half. This is my center here. I'm going to place a pin right here and another pin on the other side, about 1.5 inches, because I want it to be like a 3-inch gap, somewhat of a 3-inch gap. So it don't have to be exactly 3 inches, but pretty much what you want to do is create a gap that's equally in the center right here. So that's equally in the center right here, because we're going to keep this part open here, and we're going to sew along the sides here, and then all the way down here till we get to this needle point here. We're gonna close that one right here, and then we're gonna keep this portion open, and then sew from the other side, the other needle here, all the way down to the other side and on the other side to close. So we're gonna go ahead and sew this, and then we're gonna turn it inside out, and then I'll show you how to do the rest. All right, you guys, so in the tutorial it stopped recording and it cut off after sewing this part. Excuse my nails, my nails need to be done. But I wanted to show you that the next step that it cut off, you have to use this opening here, right here, and pull the fabric through the opening so you can turn it right side out. And get like a ruler, stick it inside the hole, the opening, stick it inside the opening, and use the ruler to kind of get the corners out before you sew it closed. All right, and then once you do that, the opening part here, I hope you can see this, close it, tuck it under as if you were like closing a seam, tuck it under, and then just sew on top. So what I did was, the part that's sewn on the waistband, I have it facing down. I have it facing the hem. So I pretty much kept it folded in half after sewing my center part here. I really hope I recorded that portion of the video. I'm trying. Okay, so I pretty much I closed that center part here, kept it folded, and I made sure that it was a perfect rectangle. Now what I did was I used my pattern here to create the guide marks on my back bodice. So I traced, what I did was I positioned, on the actual tutorial when I created this, I positioned the tie belt guideline on the wrong side of the back bodice. It should have been from the center here, and yeah, so I didn't do that. So what I had to do was cut this portion of it out, but on the actual pattern tutorial, I'm gonna tell you the appropriate side to put on the tie belt. So this step you won't have to do. I had to cut this out, place it on the center where I wanted it, make my guide points by tracing. I used a little chalk here. So I used this to create my guide points from the center, pretty much by lining up my pattern to make sure I'm in the center, line up my pattern on one side, make sure it's the center, and then I trace along, creating my guide point here and down here on the bottom and at the top. And then I did the same thing on the other side by lining this tie belt guideline on this center and tracing along here to create the guide point on the back of the pattern. And then I removed it, and it gave me this here, these marks here. My hands are blue from the chalk, but it gave me these marks here. I'm not sure if you can see it on the actual video, but it gave me these guide points here, one at the top, one at the bottom, and then 2 on the side. So it's creating a rectangle for me to be able to guide when I'm sewing. So what I did was I placed up 3 pins on here. I placed one in the center first, then I placed one on the 2 edges, on the 2 sides, pretty much the edges of where I'm going to be sewing. And what you want to do is sew along the very tip using that guide mark that you created with the chalk on the bodice. Using that guide mark, you want to sew along the tip here as close as you can to the edge, and then go down along that guideline, come back across, and then go back up along that other side, that other end of the guideline, creating a rectangle. So you're going to be sewing a rectangle. So your tie belt should look something like this. Now what we're going to do is attach our front pieces.